The question is, why do you believe INEC so much in these elections? In certain instances, people have said they've had reason, they've had cogent reasons to doubt the preparedness of INEC, but your party seems to hang on to every word that INEC has spoken so far.
Not so. You see, the point is, we've been following most of these things that are happening are not spontaneous. And INEC has been engaging the parties through the IPAC, civil society, and others over the years in preparing for these elections and in putting in place all these necessary items like the PVCs, like the card readers and other things for producing credible and transparent elections. So we are just patriotic, law-abiding Nigerians, and also in support of all other technocrats and institutional leaders to ensure that a process that is credible, fair, is affording Nigerians to exercise their franchise.
Mr. Bulama, there's another state that came up for where this mock accreditation took place is Taraba State. Taraba State had the second highest number of total accreditations on that day. That's 1,879 that came forward. Out of that figure, 714 completed their accreditations. And then you get to see again that the failed attempt percentage with Taraba is 62%. If you compare that to a state, say, Delta, Delta had a failed attempt of 8.0. In other words, they have a 92% success rate. Before the elections were postponed, your party had said, yes, they were ready, go ahead, but PVC distribution was very low in a state as Ogun. And now, in states where they've got the highest, very high figure with respect to PVC distribution, and then assume that many say, okay, well, political awareness. So, in spite of all of those, you have a high failure rate. Some people think there's something your party is not saying. Something doesn't add up here.
Well, you see this, I just don't understand. I mean, what you're trying to, what you're implying. But this is a mock exercise. The reason why people did not turn out to vote, you know, I mean, it's maybe local. So there's our concern here is the availability of the permanent voters cards to ensure that everybody gets his permanent voters card, to ensure that the card readers are efficient and effective, to ensure that fake cards are not used or other abuses are not introduced on election day to deny Nigerians of their right to vote. These are our main concerns. But I think is addressing this attitude of people on election day. The voting machines are sensitive. There are some people who say to have, you know, their thumbprints, maybe farmers or some women with makeup on their thumbs and so on, or some people who overpress the machines whose where the machine, because it's very, very touch sensitive, it doesn't reflect and so on. These are all minor issues, I think, which voter education on our part and on the part of INEC will help to correct for the elections.
You know, I'm so excited that you have been able to realize some of these hiccups or hitches. One wonders how much of that education you've given to your constituents, and knowing full well that even in some states that you would want to call maybe APC states, where you have some of your governors, they also complain. But now we're getting to see that your party is not even looking in that direction. They are raring to go, and they say they're good as well ready. For those that are yet to get their PVCs in states like Ogun State, we had a couple of people here, right here in the studios, who are yet to get theirs. And in some parts of Lagos, just yesterday here, a gentleman who was here with us still hasn't been able to get his PVC. What would you be saying when you talk to people like that in your area?
Well, we encourage them to, on the one hand, double their efforts to create the time and the sacrifice to visit INEC offices. and the card collection centers to ensure that they get their cards. And we also are closely monitoring the delivery of the remaining cards from INEC to ensure that those cards are delivered as and when due, based on the promise that they have made, to ensure that the cards are available for people to collect. At the moment, you see the collection rate is about 81% according to INEC, and we believe that the numbers would increase in the coming days.
How much of faith do you have in the card reader?
Well, we trust the card reader is capable of identifying genuine permanent voters card. And these card readers didn't just, as your earlier speaker was talking, it all introduced spontaneously. This is a machine that has been used in many parts of the world and in many parts of Africa. INEC had done a great deal of analysis, and before they decided to adopt and pay for and acquire these cards, these are permanent, these card readers, and they have demonstrated that severally before to the political parties, all the parties, and they went to the Senate and demonstrated it. It was accepted. Then they also ran these simulations in all the 6 zones of the country, and it has been generally approved. So we believe we also believe that it can work.
No, well, you were part of those who took part in the 2011 elections. So what is that problem, that key issue you think that a card reader would help solve that was very much there in the 2011 election?
Okay, you see, in the 2011 elections, we were very particular about the issue of accreditation. But INEC assured us that this biometric registration is credible. The biometric registration with 10 fingers that we did before 2011 elections were credible, and that voters will be issued ballot papers, and that once voters vote, the thumbprint on the ballot papers can be used to verify. But we later realized that this wasn't, the process wasn't foolproof. There was a lot of abuse, and in some parts of the country, block voting or ballot figure allocation was done, and later the process, our effort to ensure that, so ballot papers, we even went to court and to ensure that the ballot papers which were used to be brought, to be tested, it wasn't possible, it was denied. I think itself knows the limitations of the processes or the challenges with the processes in 2011. That's why from 2011, the process never stopped. INEC itself, is striving as patriotic Nigerians. They are also striving to improve and deliver a process that the world will say is correct and is in line with global best practices, so that our elections could be judged by the world to be good and credible, so that we can be judged among respected nations of the world. So they went ahead in consultation with all stakeholders, political parties, civil society groups, scholars, academicians, and experts, went ahead to introduce a process that can accredit and establish the identity of the voters, so that will allow only people who are on the registered list and who have permanent voters card and who have appeared in their polling unit for the election and who have been captured during the accreditation will be allowed to vote.